Very quickly, the actions that we went through today's class. Number one, you have to be amongst the few to be a true practicing believer, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned it in the first ayah of this surah, Surah Ar Rad, that most of the mankind don't believe. So this also means the action for us is we cannot follow people blindly. There is no such thing as democracy that is always right. No, it is incorrect. So basically, we cannot follow people, majority of people blindly. We have to put our filter and understand so that we are amongst the few people who are truly practicing believers. This is a very, very important action, because a lot of the times we think and we say, and shaitan whispers, look at all of them, they're having so much fun, look at all your friends, and look at this. And then we start fighting sometimes with our parents or someone else that, we also want to go, my entire class is going, all my friends are going, all of this. No, this is not an argument. This is not an argument in Islam, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying most of mankind don't believe. This was true for the mushriks of Makkah and all the people in Makkah who were opposing the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions before migration, when there were so few of them, and majority of them were not following, and majority of them were mushriks. So which is why the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions had to migrate to Medina. So they were a few. Similarly, this is true to us today. We are the true practicing believers are few, which is why we should pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us amongst the few, and we should not let shaitan whisper things to us, because majority of people are doing this all around us, because everything, whatever is happening around us, that this is not a justification in Islam. The second action, there is no other miracle needed for us to believe. The time to believe, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala consequently said in multiple ayahs, those people who think, those people who use logic, those people who use their mind, they will see all the signs around that are around us, and they will pass the test. They will start believing. This is the test. Believe in the unseen. What is the unseen? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself, and then the angels and the books. And obviously, we were not even at that. For us, even the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is sort of unseen, because we weren't present at that time. However, obviously, we have all the learnings and everything from him. So, believing in all of this today for us, the source that gives us this let's say Iman, or source of belief or power for us, is all the signs that are around us. The Holy Quran itself as the book that is highlighting to us that look at all the signs and the systems that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created. This has to be created by a perfect creator who is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So there was no other miracle or sign that was needed by the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because those people used to ask, why didn't you get a miracle like the other prophets in the past? So, but this was his miracle, the Holy Quran itself, and the fact that all the signs that are all around us should make us believe that there is a perfect creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The other action that we went through was that we have to take the first steps to be a better Muslim, to improve any situation. Even we discussed about different skills. If we want to earn a new skill, or practice anything new, it's not like we wish for it and it happens. We took the example of learning skateboarding. It cannot be like you don't know how to do skateboards, and you just imagine and start thinking, I want to learn them, and you will learn. No, I mean, you will have to take the first lessons. First of all, you'll have to buy a skateboard, you'll have to see some practice videos, maybe you'll have to hire a coach or a friend who already knows. You will take certain steps, and then you will strive hard, and then initially it will be difficult. You will overcome that difficulty, and that's how you will become a champion of skateboarding, or a guy who rides it easily. Similarly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't change the condition of people or situation of people until they change what is there in themselves, until they take the first steps. So as individuals, as nations, we discuss, we see a lot of corruption, and we say, the entire nation and the country is in a tough situation. However, people have to change. They have to ask for forgiveness. Individuals have to change. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, that until the people start making changes among themselves, within themselves, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't change the condition of people. So, you have to take the initiative. And this is what is the entire test of this world is all about. Finally, the fourth one, we just went through the definition of successful believers. We should strive to be among successful believers who will enter the gardens of heaven. And the definition that we got in the ayah, from ayah number 21, 22 until 23, 24 was These are the people who are the believers. These are the people who fulfill the promise and they don't break their contract with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Which means that whatever we have been asked to do, we do, which are the fundamental pillars of Islam, and everything that we have been asked to do, the halal things, and we refrain from everything that we have been asked not to do, which are all the haram things and everything that we have been. This is the contract, and this is our test of life. So they don't break the contract with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be believing, truly practicing Muslims. Then they are good to their relatives and they don't sever bond of kinship. So there are certain relatives that we have been asked to keep the bonds with. We have to stay close to them. We have to say hello, hi, call them sometimes, even regardless of how busy we are. We have to keep those relationships and those bonds. They fear their Lord and dread the terrible reckoning. They fear the Lord and they really dread and they are afraid of what will be the result on the day of judgment. They're always conscious about it. What is going in my scorecard? Am I going for the A stars on the day of judgment, or am I going for an F? They're always conscious and they're really afraid of the F, because F means the hellfire, and that is not an option. Imagine putting a flame on your hand, just a burning candle or something, or a hot stove, or even a hot bread we cannot break. Imagine going to the hellfire. It's not an option. It is not at all an option. So they always fear this fact that they may get an F on the day of judgment, and which is why they start taking actions now in their lives while they have time and while they are alive. They remain patient, seeking provision from their Lord. So when the things are tight, they remain patient. They always have sabr, and they continue to pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ease this situation, maybe provide me with rizq, maybe provide me with a job. If there is whatever tough situation there is, they remain patient, because they never lose faith and hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they ask everything from their Lord. And then they perform the salat and give charity from what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has already given them. And finally, they repel and reject evil with good. They oppose evil with good, and they replace the evil things in their life with good things in their life. And when they see evil things happening in front of them, they try to stop them in the good and the most possible, in the best possible manner, and they try to replace evil with good. So this is the lesson. Today we weren't able to complete until ayah number 43. Inshallah, there are about 20 ayahs left. We will try to cover them in the next class. I think it was a challenging task that I took, but it's okay. We will complete, inshallah, this surah in the next class. Are there any comments, anything from your side before we close? Okay. So subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Inshallah, I will see you guys next week, same time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.